Alright, mechanical overview of the BMW X5 for sale. Going to show you all the work that's been done on it. Because what will really break the bank is what you typically can't see when you're buying a car. So let's look at the front corners first. You can see brand new axles. You can see that the struts are dry, not leaking fluid. Brake lines are in good condition, not cracking. So we've got new thrust arms. Bushings are intact. When these bushings rip, you'll get death wobble, and the car will shake under braking and at speed. Very scary. What else here? New sway bar end links. Tie rod boots are intact, not torn. I'll show that is on both sides. And actually, if you peek in there, you can see the steering rack is pretty clean. Again, new axle, intact boots. And this left-hand side front axle is the one that typically rips here. You can see it's been replaced. Wheel is not covered in splattered axle grease. Show you the front of the engine. You can see the oil pan gasket has been replaced. And if I focus here, you can actually see the new sealant. You can see that the oil pan gasket is bone dry. You can also see the power steering lines, very, very clean. The high pressure lines, steering rack is very clean. Zoom out a bit. Power steering pulley has been replaced with aluminum instead of plastic. You can see there's a new tensioner pulley right here. Again, no leaks. Alternator is free of any power steering fluid, or ATF rather, but fluid from the power steering. Belt is in good shape. Let's look at the AC belt. Also in good shape, free of cracking. This duct is still here, still intact. You can see the frame rail is very clean, free of leaks and trails and drips. Another thing, when the oil pan was done, let me come around to the back here, show this side. You can actually see that let me focus here, crankcase vent valve drain tube was replaced. Flex disc for the front drive shaft is in good shape. You can see the differential is remarkably clean. It is not pouring fluid all over the side of the oil pan, all over the motor. And the O-ring where the differential, get my finger here to point, where the differential goes into the oil pan, that was obviously replaced when the oil pan gasket was done. Axle seals were replaced, both sides. This side cover for the axle, the O-ring was replaced, the axle seal was replaced. And if we look here, we've got new nuts, so there's not rotted hardware here that you won't ever be able to get off. If we look up in here, and I'll zoom in to the exhaust manifolds, you can see there are new nuts, new studs, new gaskets. Zoom back out. Transmission, manual transmission, very clean. Typically the selector shaft seal at higher mileage will leak. You can see new shifter parts. New clutch hydraulics over here, new slave cylinder, even this bracket is new, this line is new, everything here is new. And moving on to the back, drive shaft flex disc is in good shape, free of cracking. Little piece of dirt right there. Sticker on the drive shaft is still legible. Drive shaft center support is not torn and cracking. Look at the hardware. The hardware looks brand new. No corrosion anywhere because this is a Florida vehicle. Transfer case brace, very clean. Heat shields are all solid, so they won't rattle on you. Hardware back here is in very good shape. These gaskets are intact. Moving on back. Differential is dry. Axle seals are dry. Differential rear cover is dry. It appears that it may have been resealed before. You can actually see some sealant. Sticker is legible. Still legible right there. Let me focus. Moving on back. Typically on these X5s, when they've seen road salt, the subframe will rust. You'll see rust here, and up in here, these spot welds, you'll see corrosion on those spot welds, completely free of any corrosion. It looks like the vehicle is maybe several years old. Again, shocks are clean, not leaking, not blown. Actually, let's look at the axles. So the boots, they're a bit dirty, but they are completely intact. Show each corner here. Where was it? There we go. Completely intact, not slinging grease everywhere. Also, oftentimes, actually, let me show that too, how clean everything is. A lot of times, these screws will be stripped out, torn out, and these heat shields will be rattling. As you can see, that's all solid. So as you can see, this vehicle is in impeccable shape mechanically. And body-wise, as far as corrosion goes, it's almost like a brand new vehicle. I mean, there is no corrosion anywhere. That's what you get with a Florida car.